This podcast is a member of the Place to Be Nation family. Visit us at placetobenation.com, the only place to be in your pop culture world.
Place to Be Nation pop experience. They haven't canceled me yet. Yes, this is Scott Shiflett for episode 5. Episode 5, almost, halfway to double digits of Play While You Listen. On this month for July, I have Derrick Morgan, who you guys may not know, but I know pretty well. One of my good friends. We sadly know each other through work, but we also play video games together. So let's give him a welcome here. Derrick, how are you doing tonight?
Pretty good. Thanks for having me on. I think this will be fun.
Yeah, it should be fun. One of the prereqs is that you have to play video games, and as me and you have wasted countless hours playing video games and talking video games, I know you fit the criteria. So why don't we give the listeners here some information on you. So how long have you been playing video games?
I was talking to my wife about this earlier today while I was making dinner. I have been playing video game, like my first conscious thoughts and memories go back to whenever I was a child playing video games. Like I was probably, say about maybe 4 years old. And I remember my dad had bought a Nintendo Entertainment System, or the NES, for Christmas. And it wasn't a present for me because I was too young to play it, but it goes back that far, So been playing ever since I can remember, and it's never stopped.
Yeah, so your first system was the NES, because I'm sure you took that over. Because was that more for your sisters or for your dad?
It was for my dad. That kind of looking back at my childhood, my dad back, in his younger days, seemed to always kind of be on the breaking edge of technology. So when anything new came out, he was down to go out and go buy it. And the NES ended up being one of those things. He bought, I remember he had Duck Hunt, with the actual gun and everything. You could shoot the ducks. And then he had Ghosts and Goblins, which is, from what I recall and everything I've researched, it's one of the hardest Nintendo games ever made. And then Super Mario Brothers, because that came with the NES, and Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, when it was actually legit Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. Also
a very hard game from what I've heard. I played some of that.
Never beat it.
Just on the that little Super Nintendo little game box that they released a couple years ago that had about 40 games built in. I played it a little bit. I can't tell you where it's at right now, but yeah. So that so it sounds like you went from NES. Where'd you go after that? Did you go Super Nintendo or Sega or?
So from Nintendo it went to Game Boy. And I remember I think I was 7 whenever that came out, and they bought me that for Christmas one year. So Game Boy, Super Nintendo after that, Nintendo 64, PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, Xbox 360. I mean, really much all the consoles all the way up to now. I don't have any of them still. I wish I would have held on to them.
Yeah, and for you people who obviously don't know, Derrick is our first PC gamer that we've had. As he likes to tell me, that with the PC Master Race. So, and he has a PS5. I'm not sure how much he plays it or his daughters play it, but I know that he bought a PS5. So that leads me into my next question. What's your top 5 games? I know this is hard because we have 30 plus years, because also, listeners, when he's talking about the Game Boy that he had, he wasn't talking about the little Game Boy Color or the little smaller Game Boy. He's actually talking one like the brick Game Boys that look like one of those Texas calculators.
Oh, yeah. That's you had to constantly. I think it took 4 AA batteries, and they had all. I didn't have any of the little expansion things that you could put on the Game Boy to because you could put a magnifying glass on it with a light and surround, well, not surround sound, but these little pop out speakers to give you stereo audio. I didn't have any of that. I just had the standard Game Boy. Had to be playing at daytime. It couldn't play it at night. So
Yeah, hopefully hold it up to the light and try to catch some light because they didn't have the little built-in adapter that they would end up having. Kids have it lucky now because I remember having a Game Boy and having the little you had to have the little light above it, and then I got a Game Boy Color, so that was always fun. But Game Boy for me has always been my Tetris and Pokemon station, even to this day with my Switch, it's Pokemon and Tetris. But I digress. Let's go back to those top 5 games.
Yeah, so number one for me, it's a pretty easy number one. It's going to be, and some of these I've grouped because they have 1, 2, 3, whatever. But the Last of Us series, it's near and dear to me. I've even got a tattoo based on that video game on my left arm that takes up my entire forearm. So Last of Us for sure, number one.
And another first, listeners, our first PC gamer and first person that has something from a video game tattooed on their body. So I appreciate that. Yeah, Derek's such a big Last of Us fan. He's beaten the first game multiple times. You've beat it on what consoles? And
so I originally bought it on PS3, and it's went through several iterations. They had a release on PS3, and then I think a couple years later they had a remastered edition for PS4. So I got it when it first released, did the remastered edition, and then I also bought the newest re-release on the PS5 for Last of Us 1, and then also bought Last of Us 2. So beat it more times than I can count. I played through it so many times. I know most of it word for word. I love that game, and I love the story that Neil Druckmann came up with for that. It's a fantastic game, and I've almost deleted you out of my friends list and all my contacts because you still have not played that game, Scott.
I know. I really need to get on it. I bought it when I was recovering from brain surgery, which is another podcast. But I played it for a little bit. It made me sick, and I haven't returned. And the brain surgery was like 7 or 8 years ago at this point. So I really need to just play it one day. But I may wait for the PS5 version to go down in sales. Derek even beat the game during when the game was out, when the TV show was out on HBO earlier in 2023. He speedran it and just beat it, and was just like, yeah, I got everything unlocked, so it's very easy. Yeah. So that's how much he plays it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's I'm really glad that they decided to make that into a show, which I believe they got greenlit for season 2. I encourage anybody that's listening to go and play it. I think it really kind of hits home for me. I love the story because I have kids, and I also they're both girls, so I've had I have daughters, and this game kind of hits on that, on loss of loved ones and surrogate family members, and it's a great story. So not only that, the gameplay is fun too. So
yeah, I was texting Derek during the show, and we would have discussions on the day after the show would come out, where I would be like, so did this happen in the game? Did this happen? And he was like, I can't talk to you right now because I don't want to spoil it. So obviously that if he could, with how many times that game's been released, it could be 1 through 5 for Derek. So but let's roll to number 2.
So number 2 on my list is it's going to be Destiny. And I'm including Destiny 1 as well with that. So the Destiny series up to this point. That's the first game that Scott and I played together. We knew each other from work, and then we had a few other work friends that were playing Destiny when it came out. And I think I didn't get into Destiny until about 3 months after it came out. Because I want to say that it was a few months before Christmas, and I think our Christmas bonuses hit in December, and I'd bought a PS4, and then also went and bought an Xbox One, or whatever they're called, the previous version of Xbox. But I'd bought a PS4 and then got Destiny, and It's kind of funny because Scott, well, maybe not Scott, but one of our other work buddies, like refused to play with me until I got to a certain level because you can't really do much if you don't get to a certain level in that game. So
especially in D1, the first couple of months where like if you weren't level 28 or 29, which sounds so foreign now because our light levels are so much higher, at 1800 and everything is light level now, and they've changed the light around. But yeah, that wasn't me. I actually helped Derek play. It was me being nice, but we also needed 6 people to raid, so there is that. Yeah, and Derek, he actually is smarter than me when it comes to Destiny, where I have just played pretty much that. He'll actually step away for a little bit and then just hit me up and be like, "Hey, I want to return. What's up?" But then get mad at me when I like don't know an answer to a question, because he'll be like, "That's all you do is play it," and I'm like, "Yeah, I don't know what's going on though." But yeah, so he plays. He has a hunter main, in case you guys are wondering. I know this is like the 3 episodes out of 5 where I talked about Destiny a lot. Spoiler alert, I love Destiny. I play the shit out of it. My time wasted on Destiny is something disgusting. It's a good social game, as you've heard us all talk about. So that, I can't sing its praises enough, even though it's, as we're listening to June of 2023, we're recording this in June 2023, and you're listening to it, kind of a dead time in Destiny, because not a lot of people, I'm playing it still, but like, a lot of people went to Diablo or Final Fantasy. But, Destiny ebbs and flows. In August, we'll hear about the future of Destiny, which I'm very interested in. But, yeah, that's before this turns into a full Destiny pod, let's go to number 3.
So number 3 is going to be okay, I was going to say the Halo series, but I'm going to like scale that back to
just Halo when Bungie touched it.
Yeah, well, so Halo 1 and 2 specifically for me. So Halo is what got me to go out and buy an Xbox. And this will be not necessarily a tangent, but a kind of a story behind that. Whenever my wife and I got married, we moved to Bixby, Oklahoma, and we didn't have, like, we were in a new location, didn't have like a lot of friends in the area because, we just moved there. And one of her friends that she had made from work, she was working over at Sonic at the time, and she made a really good friend, and she's like, "Hey, we should go hang out. Me and my boyfriend and his friend, like, we're all cool. Maybe we can come over and hang out. Whatever. Go watch a movie or something." So friends come over like on a weekend, we hang out, I kind of get to know them, and one of them, who his name is Grant, is a massive gaming nerd, and I was like, oh snap, this is my guy.
Do we just become best friends?
Yeah, exactly. It's like straight out of Step Brothers. Yeah. So he was like, oh yeah, no, like you should come over, come down to my apartment. We'll have a get together this next weekend. So I come over there, and we're all hanging out, having food, drinks, whatever. And he's like, "So you play Halo, right?" And I'm like, "What is Halo?" And he just like stops everything he's doing. He's like, "Are you kidding me?" I was like, "No, I don't know what you're talking about." He's like, "I thought you were a gamer." I'm like, "Yeah, I am a gamer." He's like, "Well, what do you have?" And I was like, "Well, I've got a PS2." And he's like, "Okay, no, we're not talking about this anymore." Walked over, pulled out the Halo 1 Xbox disc, put it in, and then sat me down. And I played Halo all night long at his apartment, beat the campaign, and then in the next morning, after I like had enough sleep, woke up, went down to Best Buy, bought an Xbox, bought Halo 1, and it was a done deal after that. So
and then I had to beat it again.
Yeah, I played it again and again, and then, so in another thing, not sure, depending on the audience of the listeners. So with Halo 1, there was no Xbox Live.
Oh, LAN parties, baby.
Yep. You had nothing but you had to have LAN parties, and that's what me and Grant and like a bunch of his friends that played Halo, that's what we would do. We'd either go up to his church or over at his apartment. He'd bring like extra TVs from the church because he's like the media guy for the church that he works at, and he'd bring projectors home, and we'd have like 3 different rooms in his apartment, all playing Halo and just doing LAN parties. You could However, I think you had to do it through this protocol called GameSpy, and you could hook it up to your PC and play people online, around the world. And we did that and completely got our stuff kicked in like hard. So we weren't as good as we thought. But yeah, that's this Halo 1. But then with the introduction of Halo 2 on Xbox, they had Xbox Live with that, and man, that. I played Halo 2 every day nonstop. When I wasn't working, I was playing Halo 2 online and competing, and actually competed in a lot of Halo 2 tournaments. I took it very seriously.
Yeah. Tell me about those Halo 2 tournaments, because I want to know more about those.
So, this is just my own personal opinion. I really believe that Halo 2, their online component, is what brought in MLG, Major League Gaming. I don't know that MLG is really a thing anymore, but it was back in the day. And I mean, there would be different sponsors would pick up different gamers and actually pay them really good money to go to tournaments and compete. I wasn't that good. I was very good, and I actually played with some of those guys that actually were on the MLG circuit. But I went to 4 different local tournaments. One was at a gaming cafe, one was at a Blockbuster, one was at a hotel convention that they were having kind of like a poor man's Comic-Con in a way. And we played over there. We made, me and my team, we had a couple first place finishes and then some second and third place finishes. But yeah, no, we did some tournaments and played against some really good people. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Also, we have our first, person who participated in tournaments for video games and actually won some, unlike the rest of us who suck. So yeah. So obviously you're a PvP fan, with 2 of your top 3 games being, actually Bungie. So I guess maybe you should get a Bungie tattoo of some sort as well. I mean, I'm here for it. I've been thinking of a Destiny tattoo for a little bit. So let's go to number 4.
Okay. So number 4 is going to be Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past on Super Nintendo. I'm actually currently working on another playthrough on the Switch. I haven't played it since I had my Super Nintendo whenever I was in junior high, middle school age. But I remember, let's see, I think I was I want to say I was in 5th or 6th grade whenever I had that game, and it was one of those where I bought it, heard about it through my Nintendo Power subscription, which dates me a little bit. And I had all the guides and where all the secrets were. But I played that religiously. I had it to a point whenever I was at that age. I didn't need to read up on anything. I had it all memorized of exactly where I needed to go, what I needed to unlock, where all the secrets were, and how to get through the game in a matter of 6 or 7 hours. I had it down pat. And I think it's kind of funny now because I'm playing it as an adult and I'm trying to go back through and remember all that. And I can't remember anything. I've literally got on my phone a step-by-step guide on where I need to go now because I've completely forgot everything about that game. But it's a great. I think it's one of the best Zelda games. I'm sure a lot of people would argue with me with the Breath of the Wild and what's the new one that just came out.
Yeah. God.
Tears
of the Kingdom.
Tears of the Kingdom. There you go. Yeah. I think a lot of people will argue with me over that being the best one, but it just that's my personal opinion. I think Link to the Past was great. So that'd be my number 4 for sure.
Yeah, I mean, like I said on previous episodes, I've never played the Zelda game, and an update for everyone. Mike Roach, who was on the previous episode, still working through the Legend of Zelda game, loving it, but he also picked up Diablo. And he's only played one night of that, so I'm interested to see how long he plays that for. I'll keep y'all updated if I remember. So let's round out this top 5, Derek.
Yeah, so I'm sorry, I'm just sitting there repeating what you're saying. So my number 5 is going to be I want you to tell me truthfully if you've heard of this game before. It's on the NES, Star Tropics.
I've never heard of that game before.
Awesome. Okay, so this is another game.
So please tell us and the listeners. You said this was on NES?
It was on NES, man. This is my
NES.
first real like RPG type game that I ever played. There's a lot of talking to NPCs, getting bits and pieces of a story. But I actually pulled the synopsis, and I'll not read word for word, but essentially you play, and it's top down. You play and when I say top down, it's kind of like if you're playing the original Zelda games,
okay.
Yeah, like that. So you play a 15-year-old kid named Mike Jones.
Who?
He's Mike Jones. He's a high school baseball team captain from Seattle, and essentially he travels to this remote island and it's a fictional island called Sea Island, and he's there to visit his uncle, who's an archaeologist. And he finds out that his uncle has been missing for a really long time. And after uncovering some bits and pieces of, what happened to his uncle, finds out he was taken by aliens. So it's essentially like a top-down puzzle RPG type game where you go into kind of like different dungeons on this tropical island, and you're basically just kind of fighting your way level through level, unlocking bits and pieces of how to go find your missing uncle. So it's a lot of fun, and I put it on the list because it was the very first RPG game that I'd ever played or remember playing, and it kind of that's the thing that got me into enjoying any RPG type game, like a Final Fantasy type of game, or Legend of Zelda and all that. So that'll round out my 5.
Yeah, it sounds like a gateway drug to RPG, which we've all had, and I know one of your honorable mentions is on this because we've talked about it a lot. It's the Mass Effect series.
Yeah, I was gonna put it on there, but I was also kind of trying to look, going all the way back to childhood whenever I came up with the list. Yeah, Mass Effect is definitely an honorable mention. I'm actually in the process of completing another playthrough through the Mass Effect series. And when I say Mass Effect series, we're not going to include Andromeda in that.
What? Never heard of that. Never heard of it.
I haven't played it, and I'm taking your word for it, Scott, because you told me it was not great, and the reviews didn't reflect that it was a very good iteration of the series or continuation. So I haven't ventured down that path yet.
Yeah, I played all of about 2 hours of this game, and I was like, I'm done here. And this is someone who bought like the Legendary Edition, and I ended up just giving it to my little brother when he gave me a visit, and I said, do you want this? And he's like, sure. And his wife didn't look too happy that he was, supposed to be not like getting games and stuff, but he just like picked up like the special edition, which, looked, it was kind of big, and just carried it with him out the door. And I was like, sorry, Justin. Sorry, Taylor. But I don't even know if he played it, to be completely honest. I don't even know if he still has it. So there we go. I think this is probably in your top 5, and I think I know the answer, and the listeners may as well. But do you have a comfort game? I'm pretty sure you mentioned it. It's either 1 or 2.
Yeah. Well, actually, no, it's not on the list. As far as like a comfort game goes for me, if I'm really not feeling Destiny, because I would say Destiny is like my active game that I'm, working towards something for, doing the raids and unlocking, exotics and doing exotic quests and leveling up my Warlock and Titan so they can match the sheer power that my Hunter is. If I'm not doing that in Destiny, or if I'm not working on any like replaythroughs through Last of Us or Mass Effect, my comfort game is going to be Dead by Daylight.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So, and you heard me talk a lot about Dead by Daylight.
And explain to the customers what Dead by Daylight is.
Yeah, so Dead by Daylight is just, there are some things for you to work towards and unlocking, but essentially it is a strictly all PvP style game. You don't have to talk to anybody. In fact, they don't allow that in the game itself. So it's basically 4 survivors against 1 killer. And the survivors are all on a team together, but there's no in-game chat. If there was in-game chat, it would literally be impossible for the killer to win, because communication is like key to that. If you want to win, communication isn't key if you want to win, but communication is key if you want to completely annihilate the killer. So as far as that game goes, in the fan base there, getting on comms is kind of frowned upon because it's just not fair. The sheer joy of the game is going in as a survivor and not really being able to talk to your other survivors, because in a real life scenario, you wouldn't be, shouting across a forest if you're trying to hide from a killer. You wouldn't be screaming and yelling at somebody, So they kind of discourage that. But it's essentially, to get back to what it is, 4 survivors. They are locked in on in a map that there is a killer roaming about trying to essentially kill all the survivors and not let them get out of the map. To get out of the map, you have to power on 5 generators that power the doors, because there are 2 exit doors. Once you have all 5 generators up and running, then you can go and unlock the exit door and escape. And you don't technically win, but you level up. You get you'll go up a rank if you're able to get out and you have a good score. So
yeah, that sounds like a nice fun game. Sounds sort of like the Friday the 13th game that was released, and is the game lost its license, so it's shutting down at the end of the year, sadly.
Yeah. Actually, I bought that game right around the time I bought Dead by Daylight, and it's fun, but it didn't have the appeal that Dead by Daylight does, only because there was comms, and man, talk about a toxic environment to go play in. Just horrific ridiculousness goes on. Way too many kids have access to the internet. I'll say that they shouldn't be on here playing video games. So
I remember people were I played GTA Online for a little bit. It just caused some horrible things. But yes.
Yeah, never done GTA Online, but I played GTA just campaign wise. It's fun.
Yeah, I want GTA 6 to come out, but that'll probably be I don't know, hopefully next year. So some big news this past month. This month of June, we had the Xbox showcase. We had the PlayStation showcase last month. We have the Xbox showcase now as part of the gaming summer celebration. And the big news out of that, Derek, was Starfield. Well, I've been jokingly saying I'm going to buy an Xbox. I'm going to buy an Xbox to play it. I'm 85% sure I'm going to buy an Xbox now to play it, unless I lose my job or something. Because that game looks like a time suck in the best way. For those of you guys that don't know, it's made by Bethesda, who made the Fallout games, yes, including Fallout 76, and the Elder Scrolls games. And it's basically you discover this artifact, and you then start exploring planets. And they said there's going to be thousands of planets, and not all of them will just be some will have more. We'll have dungeons and everything, so you try to explore everything, and there'll be side quests with the Elder Scrolls games and Fallout. They said 30 to 40 hours of gameplay, but let's be real, it's probably 100 plus hours of gameplay. Looks like you can do space battles with it as well. So I'm gonna stop here with Starfield. So I'm gonna talk about the Star Wars games next that got announced. But Derek, what are you thinking on Starfield? Are you gonna be like me and get it on Xbox, or play on PC, because it is on PC?
It is going to be on PC. Okay, I thought it was only going to be an Xbox exclusive.
No.
I want to see So I have been watching some gameplay and some videos from Bethesda, because I was actually in the middle of like watching their 1 hour special on it that I think came out a week ago. So I'll say this: it is a beautiful looking game. I mean, there are other like very very attractive looking games. They're up there with those other games. My only qualms are I've noticed from the gameplay videos it is definitely running at 30 frames a second.
Yes, that's where it's capped on Xbox. I'm unsure about on PC. Also, you guys, Derek is a graphic snob, in case you didn't notice after that last comment.
Yeah, I do like my graphical fidelity. Since I am right now PC Master Race, I will say I do not have the highest end gaming PC that there is out there. My rig is probably like 3 or 4 years old. It's due for an update, but the games that I do play on it, I'm able to play at like max resolution. I'm playing on a 1440p screen, so high definition is very important to me, and running a game very, very smoothly is important to me. So I'm a little turned off by the 30 frames a second on Xbox. So if it is going to be coming out on PC, I would probably lean towards buying it on PC, because by that time I'll probably have updated my PC to be able to run it at over 60 frames a second. So honestly, I like it. It looks like it's going to be a really well done space opera to me, and I do love. I mean, with all the games that I enjoy, Destiny and Halo, like in Mass Effect, I love space games. So I am looking into it. I don't think I'm going to run out and go buy an Xbox for it, but if I've got the horsepower to run it on PC, I think I'll probably pick it up. May wait a few months after its release, because it is a Bethesda game and they are known for rushing things out before they're ready. So I imagine there's going to be several patches, but yeah, I'm down for it. I think it, and I think it's crazy. You said that it was going to be 30 or 40 hours of gameplay. There's no way. It looks like it's like 1,000 hours of gameplay if you wanted.
Yeah, you can land on different planets, take a look at everything, and then like you can go to different spots on the planet, and I've just been like looking at I will put into Google like Starfield and just see what the new news is, and people are just going crazy. I'm on the Starfield subreddit, and I don't even have an Xbox, so I'm like, damn, I haven't had an Xbox in almost 10 years. The last one I had was a 360, and I was like, oh, I might be getting another one. Wife may kill me, but
have to start up and I don't even know if they're calling it Xbox Live anymore, but you'll have to start up another another live account to have a monthly payment for.
Yeah, like I said, she's gonna murder me, because she's like, you have nowhere to put it, and I'm like, semantics, it's fine.
it'll there's a spot for it on the floor. It'll be fine.
Because she already gave me hell, in a fun way. I was playing Destiny, and she's like, oh, have you played those new games that you bought? Because I bought a bunch of games for the PSN deal, the Guardian of the Galaxy game, which I'm really enjoying, Resident Evil 2 remake, and the Mass Effect Legendary Edition. I was like, yeah, but I gotta get the guns for Destiny, and then I'll go back. So like if I add like another game, and then because like the fall is jam packed with games, Derek. Like we have Spider-Man, which comes out on a Friday, which I plan on playing all Friday, all weekend. So it's very hard. Me and Derek always joke, listeners, how we just want to start Twitch and just play video games all day. We won't make any money, and we need money to survive, sadly. So it's going to be after we hit the lottery, and then I can just Twitch to like 3 people. I don't even have a Twitch account set up for that. But yeah, it's what I want to do. Long-term #goals. But another big release that was announced during that was Star Wars Outlaws. Which, have you had a chance to look at that, Derek? I know I'm throwing a curveball at you right here, but
yeah, I watched a little bit of the release trailer that didn't have any gameplay, but then it wasn't, but like maybe a day or so later they released some gameplay footage. I watched a little bit of it, but I don't think I watched all of what I needed to see. It looks interesting. I will say that as far as all, I am a Star Wars fan. I'm honestly not really into any of the video games though. I've not. What was the one that they came out that was
Jedi?
the main. That's the one that the main character is modeled after old dude from that show on Showtime. Oh man, so he's the redheaded kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, it's gosh, it just came out.
It looks fun. I watched
Yeah, Jedi Survivor is the name of the game.
Survivor. Yeah, there you go. Oh, and it's Shameless is the show that I was talking about. It's the kid that also played. I think he played the Joker in
Gotham. Yes.
Gotham. Yeah. So I did watch a little bit of that game because like while I'm working, I normally have my personal laptop over up on the side just watching Twitch streamers, and a lot of the streamers were playing that game, and I watched quite a bit of it. It looked good. It's still probably not something I'd run out and buy myself, but that's just me.
Yeah, it's open world Star Wars. I'm always hesitant with a Star Wars game. I'll probably wait for reviews, but it does look interesting. But what bothers me with Star Wars, it's like it's set between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. It's like we have all this timeline in the Star Wars universe. Can we get something somewhere else? But it does look fun. Looks like you have a little animal that can go out and do things for you as well while you're like in battle. So that looked good, and the graphics look good, but also we're in a nice graphical era with the PS5 and Xbox. I'm in the impression that we should stop releasing games on the Xbox One and PS4, but that's just me because I have a PS5 and I'm being snotty. But yeah, so
last time I was at Walmart, I saw plenty of PS5s on the shelf. So
yeah,
I'm thinking the shortage is over.
Yeah, the shortage is over. I was lucky to grab one. Here's how bad the shortage was, listeners. I got a PS5 when it dropped because I was paying attention to Twitter just at the right time in between Destiny games. True story. But I wanted one of those charging stations that they have for PlayStation for the PS5 that's Sony related. So I needed to have everything match. I could not find it at Best Buy or Walmart anywhere around me. So legit, I live in Tennessee. Derrick lives in Oklahoma. Derrick's like, I see him all the time at Walmart. He was at Walmart, sent me a picture of it that said, yeah, buy it for me. I sent him like the money in PayPal. That's how I had to give it because it was always sold out like on GameStop, on like PlayStation Direct. So like it was just crazy times. And like you couldn't even get the accessories. So
it's kind of crazy to me that you were able to find it, but then again, I live in a smaller town and a smaller area, and maybe just because of the demographic, like buying all those extra accessories isn't a big deal to the people who live here. But yeah, every time I went in, I never saw PS5s, but I always saw plenty of controllers and plenty of those charging stations that would hold 2 controllers. So if you're a hardcore console playing nut, like you have to get 2 controllers and a docking station, because you're going to play through that first controller. You're going to kill the batteries in a game session. So
yeah, and my PlayStation, my main red controller battery is starting to go. I noticed if I play for a couple of hours, it drops down to 1.
Oh.
It's seen a lot of wear and tear. So yeah, but let's jump in, because me and you could talk video games. We do it for almost 8 hours a day, nearly every day. I'm just kidding, bosses, if you're listening. We do 30 minutes of work. Let's jump into the July video games. And Derrick, I know this is only my 5th time doing this, but this is one of the months where there's not that many big releases, but I think there might be some diamonds in the rough games that are coming out. And I got the list, as usual, is from the GameInformer.com website, which is where I pull my information. So I'm going to kick it off. The first game that releases on July 6th, because July 4th is I believe a Tuesday this year, so that throws everything off, is this game called Guilt, which GYLT. I'll give you points for spelling. Which is coming out on PS5, PS4, Xbox X and S, Xbox One, and the PC. And it's the tagline: shape your fears, fear the shapes. Embark on a journey when you face your worst fears and are confronted with the emotional impact of your actions in this narrative adventure game with puzzles, stealth, and action. It sounds pretty fun, like when the decisions you make like shape the narrative, which we're big fans of in Mass Effect. So like that might be something like if I see it like on a PSN sale, like hey, there we go. The next game, Legend of Heroes: Trails into Revere. 3 different legends are about to unfold, determining the fate of Rian Schwarzinger, Lloyd Bannings, and the Mysterious Sea in the climactic chapter of the Legend of Heroes series. That's out July 7th on PS5, PS4, Switch, and PC. Sorry, Xbox, you lose out on that. Next game up, coming out July 12th, Oxenfree 2 Lost Signals. Lost Signals is the mind-bending follow-up to the critically acclaimed narrative adventure Oxenfree from Night School Studio. Play as a standalone story or dive deeper by playing the original. It's up to you. As you play, you'll shape every step of the story through your choices. How you choose to deal with supernatural elements at hand will forever alter the future. Derek, sign me up. If this is like $20, I may check this out. Like,
yeah, I mean, it's got that pick your own destiny type of thing.
Yeah.
So that might be kind of cool.
Yeah, so like that sounds really good, and the graphics didn't look too bad as well. So this game coming up, Derek, it sounds like if it's free for like a PSN like monthly game, I may pick it up, just for how absurd it is. It's called Exo Primal. It's for the PS5, the Xbox, PS4, Xbox One, PC. July 14th. That's how barren it is. We're 4 games in. It's already the middle of the month, guys. Suit up exo fighters. A dinosaur storms on the horizon, and exo primal hordes of history's most ferocious beasts are mysteriously appearing across the globe in your cutting-edge combat suits. The only things standing in your way. The battle ages unfolds in the main game mode Dino Survival, where 2 teams of exo pilots race to complete objectives while staving off swarms of ancient creatures. In Exo Primal, each match is different from the last. In some scenarios, rival squads are pitted against one another in direct confrontations. Other times, adversaries must forge uneasy alliances to survive encounters with the formidable foes like the terrifying and otherworldly Neo T-Rex. So this kind of sounds like the new game that Bungie's actually working on, Marathon, which is like one of those games where it's like a it's where you just like have like the sorry, I'm getting it right now. It's sorry. It's like where you're looting for the game, but also it's like you're going against PvP. So it should be interesting. But it's
like
an
like a PvP looter. That kind of makes me think of
it's a PvP extraction shooter.
Recon.
Yeah, it's an extraction shooter, which sounds like if you ever played the Division, where you had the Darkness Zone, where you had PvP and you could take people's ammo and weapons and stuff, which is why I didn't like the Division. Like the Division story was fun, even though Mike Roach did rush me through it because he had beat it. And then was like, you need to catch up. But I was like, the extraction zone really pissed me off when you get all this cool gear and you lose it. I know they'll say that's part of the game, but like, when I'm spending my time doing it and then I lose it all, then it's like, that's not really part of the game. That's not like like part of the game where I turn the game off or I delete the game and it never comes back. So
nobody likes to like go through and spend a lot of time and then lose all their progress.
Yeah, as someone who you've raided with in Destiny and gets frustrated when people can't do certain things, that's how I feel all the time. All right, so we're gonna take a break for those first 4 games, Derek. Which games would you be interested in?
So probably I might check out Guilt. That seems like that might be up my alley. I like adventure games with a narrative, so I might check that one out.
It's
depending on the price.
It's Oxen free for me. It looks beautiful. I'm looking at screenshots right now. It just looks somewhat different, and I like something like where you can change the narrative. It brings back multiple times. It's why I want to check out the Quarry when it ever comes back on sale. Like I said, Exo Primal would be like if I want to get drunk one night with some friends and play a video game. If it's free, that's when I'll play it. But it's not something I'll sink $60 into or anything.
Yeah, no, I agree.
All right, so we're gonna hit 4 more real quick. The next game is Viewfinder, which is just PlayStation and PC, which is challenge perception, redefine reality, and reshape the world around you with an instant camera. Viewfinder is a new single-player game offering gamers hours of interesting and fun experiences while uncovering the mysteries left behind. Yeah, you have like a little Polaroid camera that you just take pictures of, and like you can set up new ways to travel or something when I was looking at it.
Yeah, I remember seeing that during the Sony's their whatever conference they had earlier this year. I remember seeing that. Yeah.
Yeah. So that should be interesting. I don't know if I'll play it, to be honest, but here we go. Then the next game is Immortals of Avium for just next gen consoles and the PC, so PS5 and the Xbox Series X and S. Stop the Everwar, save the realms. Immortals of Avium is a single player first person shooter that tells the story of Jack as he joins an elite order of battle mages to save a war on the edge of the abyss, master 3 colors of magic, and unleash spells with deadly skill in the game that defines first-person shooter conventions. Not gonna lie, I already have Destiny at home if I want space magic, and that's sort of what this sounds like.
Exactly what I was leaning towards. That sounds like kind of a Destiny clone, but probably not as good.
Yeah, with like the first part, it's just like a linear story. Okay, so you can't do anything else. And the next game coming up is Might and Magic Clash of Heroes, which is a unique mix of puzzle, and this comes out July 20th for the PlayStation 4, Switch, and the PC. It's a unique mix of puzzle, strategy, and RPG. Plan your every move and combine your attacks to defeat your enemies in matching puzzle-inspired battle scenarios. Upgrade your heroes and create your creatures to unleash increasingly devastating attacks on your opponents, and let the strategic thinker in you lead your troops to victory. I'm not a strategic thinker. I'm an idiot. This game is not for me. I just know from the jump, even reading this.
It looks kind of like a mobile game that you play on your phone.
It looks like Clash of Clans, to be completely honest. So not good. The next game up, and this is where we'll pause, is Pikmin 4, which is a game that I know people enjoyed the first couple of games. There's meet Pikmin, small plant-like creatures you can grow, pluck, and guide and send into battle with enemies multiplies times their size. These loyal, curious helpers come in different types, including fire-resistant red Pikmin and brand new ice Pikmin. This sounds too close to Pokemon. Pikmin, I know you're already on game 4, and this is a big series, but it always makes you want to say Pokemon. The fate of your Pikmin is yours to decide. Will you carefully avoid danger or rush into situations despite potential ... losses? None of these games, they seem like this is for kids. I'm sure there's adults that play them, like Pokemon. I mean, hell, look at me. Those Pokemon games are for adults, and I play them. Not the best 4 right here, Derek. We have a Destiny clone, the weird Viewfinder game. These all 4 games I wouldn't even give like a second look to.
Yeah, no, the closest thing for me might be the Viewfinder game, but I'm honestly not into like puzzle adventure. I mean, I did enjoy Portal, and I consider that kind of the same thing, but I don't know. I think maybe it might be a little more well done. I don't know. Viewfinder, from the release videos that I saw and the demos, it looked kind of cool, but it's probably not something I would pick up. But of those 4, that would be the closest thing for me that I would possibly consider.
Yeah, and I already do like puzzle stuff at work when I'm trying to figure out my job, so I don't want to do it when I'm supposed to be relaxing. That's just me personally. So the next game, I'm gonna hit the last 5 here, and that's it. Then we'll be done for the month, guys. That's how how little video games are coming out this month. It's Remnant 2, which is just on next-gen consoles and PC, and it pits survivors of humanity, and this comes out July 25th, pit survivors of humanity against new deadly creatures and godlike bosses across terrifying worlds. Play solo or co-op with 2 other friends to explore the depths of an unknown and stopping evil from destroying reality itself. And
pictures of that, that looks interesting. I like the art.
Yeah, and it has a weapon that looks like the Gears of War chainsaw, if you guys are familiar with that. So that might be something like I might have to hang my hat on at the end of July as something to take a look at, because if we had to get one game a month. Like, it might be Remnant, or it might be one of those games I mentioned up top. So, but the next game coming out is just a PC port of Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, which already came out on the PS5, but this is just the PC port, as we're starting to see more and more PlayStation games make the jump over. And as you know, Derek, not every PlayStation game jumps over to the PC port. Great.
That's true. Last of Us is a great example of that.
Yeah, and that, as you mentioned, I don't think you own that one. So, I mean, because you already have it for every other system known to man. But yeah, it did not jump over very well. But here's the tagline for it: Go dimension hopping Ratchet and Clank as they venture onto a PC near you for the very first time. Help them take on an evil emperor from another reality as you jump between action-packed worlds and beyond. Never played those games. They've always looked very fun, just not my cup of tea. I've always liked Crash Bandicoot, so I don't know. It's just with that. Next game up is a game you might be familiar with, Derek. Double Dragon Gaiden: Rise of the Dragons, which is Double Dragon's brother. And this comes out on all consoles, Switch and PC, July 27th. And it's a new Double Dragon game. It was not a remake or anything. This famous 2D scroller is back. They get a fresh addition to this beat 'em up franchise. It's 2D. You can tag in with 2 or 4 players. You can unlock 9 additional characters, each with their own special moves and playset. Like, I did not have in my bingo card that Double Dragon would get a sequel in 2023, and here we are.
Yeah, no, I'm looking at images of that, and to be quite honest, and I'm not just saying this because of a podcast, I might actually pick that up. That because I played Double Dragon on the Nintendo, in the NES back in the day, and this looks like it's a new skin, new ideas, and just looks like kind of like a fun side scroller. I might pick it up.
Yeah, it looks like a lot of fun. I was shocked with this. And the next game I'm hesitant to talk about because I'm currently reading the book series right now. It's called The Expanse. Thankfully, this takes place with the TV show, not the book, so I'm not spoiling anything for myself because I haven't met these things yet. And if I have, please don't tell me. But The Expanse, a Telltale series, which supposedly those Telltale games are good. I have the Batman one downloaded on my PS4 that I never played. But it's they always look good to me. They're nice storytelling games. But experience the exciting University Expanse like never before in Telltale's latest adventure. The Expanse, a Telltale series, follow Kara G, who reprises her role as Karina Drumner, and explore the dangerous and uncharted edges of the belt aboard the Artemis. From scavenging wrecked ships in zero-G environment to surviving a mutiny to combating fearsome pirates, you may take difficult choices and reveal Kamina Drummer's resolve in the latest Telltale adventure, based on the show and not the book they made to specify, and this takes place before season 1 of the show. So, very interesting. I want to read all the books before I watch the show. So this might be like a year away or something because these books are phenomenal. Just want to let everyone know if you haven't. And, I do more than play video games. I also read and do podcasts, of course. And rounding out the month, Derek, this is just for Switch. It's called Disney Illusion Island. Join Mickey and friends on a quest to explore the mysterious islands of Monoth and recover 3 mystical books to save the world from disaster. And the friends you can play with was Mickey, looks like Minnie, Donald Duck, and Goofy. The art looks like it's from like the 1930s and 40s, the way they're drawn. So it's very interesting that they're going old school. But you can play with 4 players up to co-op, and this comes out on the Switch for July 28th. We have one more game that I missed. I did not scroll down enough, guys, and it's called Venamba, which I don't know who plays these games. I'm glad that people do, but it's for the PS5, the Xbox games, and the Switch and the PC. It's a short narrative cooking game where you play as an Indian mom who immigrates to Canada with her family in the 1980s. Players will cook various dishes and restore lost recipes, hold branching conversations, and explore in the story about family, love, loss, and more. Cooking games just aren't my cup of tea, but it's also people love playing the games where you like just do nothing but fish or do power washing. They're trying to branch a story up with this, but that just does not sound like a good cup of tea with me, honestly. Anything out of these last 6 games? I mean, you already told your story of Double Dragon. Anything else you'd like to play?
The Remnant 2 seems a little interesting to me. That might be worth looking into. But yeah, if anything, it'd be Double Dragon. Double Dragon Gaiden, Rise of the Dragons. I think I might actually go ahead and pick that up.
Guys, the way Derek is talking right now, sounds like he already put it on his PC Steam list to buy, because I heard the way he was talking in his voice. So for the month, I think the game I would want to play is Oxenfree Lost Signal. So I'm gonna have to check out the reviews of that, and we'll have to go from there. But as we close out, Derek, is there anything you'd like to plug or anything?
No, nothing on my mind. No.
All right. Well, I'm gonna.
Well, okay, no. I'm gonna interrupt you. I'm gonna say, Scott, I'm gonna give you a couple of months, but you've got to play Last of Us, man.
Hey, I'm reading The Expanse. I'm on book 2 of 9. I'm a busy man. I gotta lead people through raids on Destiny. I got to get to The Last of Us. It's on the to-do list, because come October, Spider-Man is, and that's not if I get an Xbox and play Starfield in September. So just not enough time in the day, Derek. Just not enough time in the day.
No, it's understandable. I hear you.
But this brings us to the end of our 5th episode of Play While You Listen. Before I get out of here, I just want to tell you to check out all the pods on PTP and Pop Experience, the Wrestling Feed, and the No-So. We're all doing great work. I'm doing a bunch of new pods, linking up Lucha on the No-So feed, which by the time you listen to this, we would have should be coming out shortly. But yeah, you can catch me on Twitter at Play While You Listen Pod, and you can find me on PSN if you want to at Scott289. Thank you, and have a nice day. Game on.